Okay, guys, so I have been looking online at zoo animals and I saw the cutest picture of, it was of a panda bear. So it was actually a baby panda bear and it was much, much smaller than the mom. And I thought, you know what, we need to draw a panda bear. We're going to start with all the simple shapes, right? So we're just going to start with the head. We'll start with the body. We'll add arms and legs. And then we're going to add all the details like the nose and the mouth and, you know, ears and eyes. And then I forgot that pandas eat bamboo. So I thought, why not? We'll make our panda bear climbing a bamboo tree. So we're going to start with the head. So the panda bear's head, it is pretty much a circle. They're pretty fluffy. And they have a lot of really thick white hair. So we are going to start up here and we're going to draw just a circle for the head. Okay, so now panda bears' bodies are also pretty fluffy and they're pretty big. So the panda bear's body kind of reminds me of like an oval, like an egg kind of shape. So I'm going to start here and I'm actually gonna make it really light. So I'm gonna make, this is like the back. And then we're kind of coming down where the leg would go. And then this will end up being the tummy. Because our bears, see our bears on its side? It's the side view. So that will just be our panda's body. So I think while I'm at it, I might add the little tail. Little tails, just kind of like a little bit of a tail. They don't have a very long tail. It's pretty short. Okay, so our panda bear, we got to give him his arm. And a panda bear's arms, they're still really fluffy, so we got to make them kind of big. So if we make a line come down, and then we can kind of bend the paw. This would be like your paw. And then we can come back up. And then when we do the leg, we draw the leg, it's kind of the same shape, except for they have like their hip. And you kind of also have like their knee, right? So they're, you know, like this is their elbow and this would be their knee. So we're gonna kind of start up here, down, and then we'll add their paw. And they look like they have pretty big fluffy paws. And we're just gonna end it right, kind of right underneath. Because he's got his leg up, because it's this one, look, he's climbing the tree. So his legs aren't dangling, they gotta be up on the tree so he doesn't fall down. Okay, so that is pretty much their body. We got legs, we got a head. So I think we can just add ears before we move on. So the ears, they're kind of, if you guys should take time, look at a panda bear later. They're pretty fluffy. They don't have like long fur. Maybe in winter they do, but they have kind of short but really thick fur. And they have ears really similar to other bears, right? They just happen to be black. They just happen to have black ears. So I made a little line for like the inside of the ear. It's like insides. So we're gonna start from the ears and we're gonna work our way down. So the ears, so because I don't have black, I'm gonna just use my pencil to shade in the ears. If you happen to have, you know, like a black marker or crayon, then of course you could color your bear's ears. But I'm just going to shade mine in. And you can always go back if you want and make it darker. It's like if you press harder, of course, it will get darker. But right now we're just kind of filling it in so we know that we've got our dark panda ears. So if you look at, we're going to start the face. So if you look at, there's panda's nose, but they actually have like a muzzle. So their nose will like stick out. So we are going to start with a circle first. Then we're going to add the nose and the mouth. And their mouth is black. So it tends to also look like they have a little smile. If you look at pandas closely, some of them look like they're smiling. So we're going to start here with the circle. And it kind of takes up a lot of their face. Mine's almost the size of like a nickel. You go all the way around. And then think it's easier to start with the nose and then build and draw down to the mouth. So the nose, same kind of thing. It reminds me of an upside down triangle. And they're a little bit rounded because the panda bears have little rounded noses. And while you're at it, you could also shade it in. So after you do the nose, we're going to add that little smiley mouth. And it's kind of just like a curve. So we curve up one way, and then we're going to curve up the other way. So it'll come down, and then we're going to make him curve like that. And do the opposite on this side. We'll curve like this. And I'm also going to make it a little thicker. Because you can really, when you look at a panda, you can really see their black smile. Okay, so I think the biggest feature people know when they see a panda is their eyes, right? They have those big black spots of fur around their eyes. So what we're gonna do, we have to draw the little tiny circle for their eye, but because they're so covered in fur, it almost looks like they don't have eyes. So we're gonna first add a tiny circle. And that's going to be kind of where like the little eye is. So you'll add one, and then you'll add one more. And then their little fur patches around their eyes are kind of an oval shape. So and they tilt inside. See how this one goes this way and this one goes this way? So we're going to first make that oval. There's one. And there's the other one. But what we have to, of course, do is we need to shade in all that part where it's like the patch of fur. So we'll just go in. And then we'll do this side. Got to add those little little spots. So we already did arms and legs, but panda bears' fur, it's like all black up here on the top of their arms and chest, and then black just on their bottom legs. And then all the center is like white, kind of like an Oreo cookie, right? That's kind of what they look like. So we're gonna take our pencil again, and we're just gonna shade this part of their body. And I'm just gonna shade on this, my side of my pencil. You might have to make a line to make this a little darker so that you can tell there's a difference between their chest and their arm. I'm gonna do both of these, and then I'm gonna probably press a little harder after. And then the fur, the black fur kind of comes down on their leg. It doesn't quite cover their back. Just kind of comes to here. Make it kind of like a fur texture. Kind of furry. I'm gonna go back this way. Go back this way. So now it's pretty dark. Much darker than before. All right, so I got my panda's arms, tail. Let's just make sure, is there anything else on the body? So I'm gonna add some little toes. We'll add a couple little round toes. Now, of course, our panda is not floating in the sky. Our panda needs to be on a bamboo tree. So also, if you can see, the tree is behind his paw. So I'm gonna start, oops. I'm gonna start up at the top, and I'm gonna come down like an angle. And then I'm gonna do the same thing, just come down, all the way down. And it's okay if it's going off the page. It's kind of like we're just looking at a little portion of it. Bamboo trees and branches have these little marks that are dividing each section of bamboo. So we're going to add a few of those. So I'm going to add one. I'm going to add another one. Maybe one here by the tummy. And maybe one down here. And then of course, bamboos are eating the leaves off the bamboo tree. So you can make a stem, and the bamboo leaves are really long. So this part's up to you. If you notice I have a bunch of little branches all over, you can add as many as you want, or you can follow and add as many as I'm putting. But that is kind of your choice. So I'm just going to add some branches and add some long leaves. Let's see, we could also put some out here. Make some long ones. I think my favorite video is watching them in the zoo where they're eating leaves, and they just they'll sit and eat. They eat so many leaves. I think it takes them a lot of bamboo leaves to get full. Okay, and then if you want, we could add also another branch. So we'll do the same line. And remember, they have that little mark. And then you can just add another branch. But other than that, that's pretty much it. We made sure we got all of our shading done, and we have our happy smiley face, and we got our branch. And then of course the last thing, always, you know, gotta sign your name, right, on your artwork.